guys.
I'm Miss Buffles and this is on Deadlifter, and we're going to be talking about our week 1, day 2 training, which is me deadlifting and him benching.
This is one of those videos that you probably won't see on other people's channels because we have included the failed attempts. We both had failed lifts. One, I think, may have been because someone was not mentally prepared.
Yeah, it was me.
And another was because someone wasn't mentally prepared and was giving incorrect commands on the bench press.
I'm new to giving commands, so I completely spaced it, and he did a very, very long pause on his bench.
Yeah, you'll see on my planned opener that the pause was a bit longer than it probably should have been. Someone had a severe case of mommy brain that day. Not really going to go into a long intro like the last one that lasted probably about 5 minutes. Probably get a little bit shorter as we do this, and for longer videos we'll probably do some, I know I've got a planned one on mobility and flexibility when it comes to powerlifting and the importance of it. I've got another couple other ideas for videos. If you guys see that, if you guys have questions about anything, go ahead, put them down in the comments. You don't have to privately message us or anything. Just let us know, hey, if you have a comment, put it on the video. That way our videos get more likes. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And
we read the comments, so we'll see them.
Yeah. We're keeping an eye on there. I think it says we have one comment, and I have no idea where it is because
find it.
I don't see it anywhere. But anyway, that's not us trying to whore out the page. But if you do like it and want to subscribe, go for it. Again, you can follow us on Instagram on Deadlifter and Miss Fuffles.
Yep.
And we'll get the video started. So Evie's dancing around like a little monkey. We had music going like we normally do, and she loves grabbing on to any type of bar. When I do pull-ups, she wants to be right there.
Deadlifts right there, squats right there, overhead press right there.
You can see she's doing some fancy footwork. This is one of the accessory movements that I was talking about that I do in between my bench press. I like to do dumbbell rows. I normally kind of, as I'm warming up in the bench press, I warm up in those, and then I like to stick around anywhere from 80 to 100 pounds, doing anything from like 10 to 15 reps. Again, based on your strength level, you could try it out for you and just see where it's at. I like it because it keeps my lats engaged while I'm doing the bench, so I can kind of figure out where they're at a bit better. I can target them a bit more, and plus I love working my upper back. I probably do it every day.
Here's me doing a conventional deadlift. I was not sure why, but I just wasn't having a great day. It just happens for me sometimes, and more recently I had a really good day, so that makes up for this bad day. But this is 140 for 3, and it still felt pretty decent.
During this cycle, I kind of lowered my weights a bit more than what I would normally do. The weights I'm using, I'm kind of trying to prime myself as I get closer to the singles. This one's 160 by 3. Normally I don't bench on this bench that we have, and it becomes more apparent in later videos. But yeah, those ones were feeling great.
Here is 160 for 3. Just kind of, I don't think I knew the camera was rolling, but still setting up and making sure my feet are all set and everything.
It was very airheady this day. Not to call names, but the mom brain was kind of in full swing on this day.
On my 205, I accidentally forgot to put a 5 and a 2.5 on one of the sides.
Yeah, you won't see that
goals,
see that video, but half the bar went up, half the bar didn't.
And ruined the whole rest of my day.
Alright, so this is 185 by 3. Again, the weights were feeling really good. I was also warming up, not warming up, but doing these lifts without the belt, without wrist wraps. I kind of like to do that sometimes. That way I can kind of use that when I really need to. That way I kind of can keep those tools in my toolbox for when I want to pull them out. Was having a really hard time getting myself set up on this bench. The way that's positioned, there's kind of like a space between the bench and the other pad, and where I like to set up, my butt would be right in that hole. So, but again, weights were still flying and feeling really good. So this next one, yep, 205 by 3. I recently hit 205, I believe, for 9 reps. I accidentally hit the J cup on the way up and kind of reset and did another 3. So my estimated kind of 1 rep max right now is probably around 270 to 280, but that's with that's not with a pause. It's more touch and go. So I don't really have a good grasp on where my competition pause max would be. Again, I'm trying to focus on getting towards there. I would like to get upwards to around 270, but based on how this day went, I might be changing that. Again, I'm not sure if it's because of what's going to happen later on. We'll talk about that a little bit more, or if it's just my strength levels aren't there with the pause.
Yeah, I have an issue with the pause as well. It's been challenging because I haven't trained that way. I'm always just trying to go as fast as possible, and up until recently I've been trying to learn the pause because I need it for competition, and it's pretty difficult once the weight gets heavy. Here's 180 for 3 for me, and I was still feeling pretty good up until this point. I actually think this took a lot out of me because I don't normally do high weight, not high reps, but more than 1 or 2 reps once I get past 160. So it took a lot out of me, and then on top of that I was trying to go up until 220 and wasn't able to get there just because I put so much into this lift, which is something I need to work on. But
I think a little bit of a rounding back in that one too.
Yep. I didn't know if that was going to come up.
So this is my first single, and it is the first time that Miss Fuffles has really worked on giving commands.
It's so bad.
If she was the head judge at a powerlifting meet, she would not be welcome back. I'll just tell you that much. So I have 230. The most I've hit with 230 is, I believe, 4 reps around there, 4 or 5 reps. So I felt like this would be a good opener. Again, we were kind of. This setup is a little bit awkward compared to how I normally bench in my squat rack. You can see that very long
so
pause.
You can also see when he was trying to start up, I got distracted because it was still hovering over the J cup, and I was trying to help him push it forward more, but and then I was so distracted by that, I just forgot to tell him to press.
forgot to tell me to start. Forgot to tell me to press.
I remembered the finish though.
Yeah, remember the finish. The setup is very different from what I'm used to, but I've been kind of trying to use this bench because of the variation, because at the meet it might not be optimal to how I set up, so I kind of want to have, how can I set up when things aren't how I want them to be. So this is my 250 by 1 fail. Again, you can see I'm moving my butt around a lot because I don't like where I'm positioned on the bench. One thing I am able to do though is really get my arch set up, drive my shoulders into the bench. Now what got me on this one is, if you notice, Miss Fuffles goes and reaches for the bar, which I thought
he just thought I was going to.
I thought she was going to grab the bar, so that completely distracted me, and I yelled at her, "Don't touch the bar!" And then I was just out of it. This was actually the second fail. The first fail was because she had said press at the start, and that completely got me out of it, and it was just not a good day. Tension were getting high, and I think that may have attributed to why Miss Fuffles has her fail.
So this is, you can see I'm getting frustrated. This was probably like my 5th attempt at trying to do the 205, and I think this was actually my last try, and I just accepted that it wasn't going to happen. Everything was distracting me and getting me frustrated. I can't believe this is the video you decided to use, but anyway, so you can see at this point I just mentally wasn't there. Like I said, this was my 5th attempt trying to pull 205, and I've done 205 for 2 a few weeks prior to this, and it was just frustrating.
So that's this week's video. If you liked the video, please like it. If you're interested in seeing more from us, subscribe. And if you have questions, comments, anything you'd like to know, go ahead and put it down in the comment.
Feel free to ask. We'll answer pretty much anything.
And we'll see you guys in our next video. And she might be wearing a different shirt in it, but it's going to be recorded right after this one.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys.